66 million years ago, the forelimbs of a mighty Alamosaurus began to weaken, a tremor running through its colossal frame. Then, with a shudder that vibrated through the very ground, it fell heavily onto the sun-baked beach, its immense weight creating a crater in the sand. For the 70-year-old Alamosaurus, a veteran of countless seasons and silent witness to the changing world, its epic life had come to an end. This wasn't just the death of an individual, it was a shift in the delicate balance of the prehistoric ecosystem. However, the demise of this giant dinosaur, a living mountain of flesh and bone, would inevitably cause a terrible bloodbath, a savage feast that would draw the fiercest appetites of the ancient world. The next morning, under the searing glare of the primeval sun, a disciplined group of raptors arrived, their keen eyes scanning the horizon for opportunity. These agile hunters, renowned for their cunning, were among the smartest dinosaurs of their era. With their razor-sharp talons and coordinated tactics, they always managed to seize any advantage, exploiting the weaknesses of others. Their senses had led them to this colossal carcass, a potential bounty beyond their wildest dreams. However, the dead Alamosaurus presented an immediate challenge. This behemoth was 30 meters long and weighed as much as 70 tons, a truly gargantuan feast. This also meant that its hide was incredibly thick, a natural armor 7 centimeters deep, impenetrable to the raptor's smaller, albeit sharp, teeth and claws. Therefore, the raptors, despite their intelligence and ferocity, found themselves unable to tear through its formidable flesh. This wasn't a job for mere cunning. This meant that a more powerful dinosaur, one with sheer, unadulterated brute force, was desperately needed. That was the Tyrannosaurus Rex. As the undisputed top terrestrial predator, a creature whose very name inspired terror, its 15-centimeter-long dagger-like teeth could tear through any creature's body, ripping through bone and sinew with terrifying ease. Its arrival sent a ripple of primal fear through the air. The clever raptors, ever opportunistic, still did not want to give up on such a monumental meal, lingering at a respectful distance, hoping for scraps. But the Tyrannosaurus Rex, a king of its domain, would never be willing to share its hard-won food. Its roar alone was a clear declaration of ownership. La lucha por el banquete y la estrategia del depredador alfa. Of course, the death of a 30-meter dinosaur naturally attracted far more predators than just a lone T-Rex and a pack of hopeful raptors. From the vast, sun-drenched skies, a new contender descended, the pterosaur, the true ruler of the air during the age of dinosaurs. Its imposing shadow fell across the beach, a silent warning of its dominance. With a sharp, elongated beak that measured an astonishing 1.8 meters long, and a wingspan that could reach a staggering 12 meters, this winged titan was a force to be reckoned with. With the unassailable advantage of the sky, it could theoretically fight and overcome almost any creature on the ground, swooping down with terrifying precision. If the Tyrannosaurus Rex accidentally got caught in its eyes, a well-aimed strike from that formidable beak would easily turn it into a one-eyed dragon, forever diminishing its hunting prowess. The next morning, a single pterosaur alone, for all its aerial superiority, could not force the Tyrannosaurus Rex to back down from such a prize. The T-Rex was too deeply entrenched in its claim. However, this time the pterosaur had companions. A second massive pterosaur circled above, its presence doubling the aerial threat. In a 2-to-1 situation, with agile attackers swooping from above, it was far more troublesome for the grounded giant. A great battle, a clash of titans between the rulers of land and sky, was imminent. The pterosaurs, being intelligent flyers, clearly would not face the formidable T-Rex head-on in a direct ground confrontation. With the overwhelming advantage of the sky, they had the undisputed upper hand, using their speed and maneuverability to harass and wear down the T-Rex. So, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, faced with this aerial barrage and exposed on the open beach, had no choice but to withdraw for the time being, a rare tactical retreat. This time, it had lost to the open terrain, where its power was negated by the pterosaur's agility. But now, the two pterosaurs could descend and eat to their fill, their victory a testament to cooperative hunting from above. However, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, a creature of immense power and relentless determination, would not give up easily. It had learned its lesson. Retreating into the dense, ancient forest, it began to bellow, a deep, resonating call that echoed through the primeval woods. This wasn't a cry of defeat, but a summons. It was calling its mate home. With two tyrannosaurs hunting together, their combined power was not just 1 + 1 = 2. It was an exponential increase in deadliness. This was a sophisticated strategy, demonstrating a level of cooperation far beyond mere individual strength, and it would not lead to arrogance. Excellent hunters are always humble, understanding the nuances of their prey and environment. Although Triceratops were often a delicious and preferred meal, they also possessed formidable combat power, making a direct confrontation risky. So this time, they had to devise a perfect plan, one that leveraged their collective might and instincts. Time blinked, and the golden light of dusk gave way to the deep shadows of night. As the stars began to pepper the ancient sky, the two Tyrannosaurus Rex began to wake up, one after another, their massive bodies stirring with predatory intent. Tyrannosauruses famously had stereoscopic vision, allowing them exceptional depth perception. For them, there was little practical difference between the dim light of night and the bright glare of day. Their eyes were perfectly adapted for hunting in any condition. Although they were huge, colossal creatures, their massive feet were equipped with thick, fleshy pads. This specialized anatomy allowed them to move almost silently, their immense weight cushioned, minimizing any telltale sounds. This also meant that the Tyrannosaurus was, in essence, a terrifying night stalker, a silent phantom of death lurking in the darkness. The couple's carefully chosen target this time was a group of Tyrannosaurus, a herd of herbivorous dinosaurs that, while not possessing strong defensive abilities like the Triceratops, were formidable in their own right due to their size, which was not much different from that of a Tyrannosaurus. Moreover, their speed was twice that of a Tyrannosaurus, making a direct chase difficult and often fruitless. So this meant they only had one chance to attack, one swift, coordinated strike. The two dinosaurs, having worked together countless times, moved with seamless synchronization. They each entered their designated positions, anticipating the movements of their prey. The Edmontosaurus family, instinctively aware of the dangers of the night, always kept a sentinel on watch, a vigilant member monitoring for any abnormalities. Knowing this, one Tyrannosaurus intentionally made some calculated noise, a rustle of leaves or a distant growl, just enough to draw the sentinel's attention. After the sentinel was effectively distracted, the other Tyrannosaurus, moving with incredible stealth, approached the unsuspecting herd from the opposite direction. Although the Edmontosaurus were alert enough, their limited night vision and the T-Rex's silent approach meant they still did not detect the presence of the lurking hunters. Then, the moment to hunt arrived, a terrifying explosion of power. A Tyrannosaurus suddenly burst out from the shadows, its thunderous roar shattering the night's calm. The herd of dinosaurs instantly scattered and fled in a panic, their instinctive flight response kicking in. One Edmontosaurus, either through bad luck or clever herding by the predators, fell into the trap, forced to flee in a predetermined direction directly into the path of the second T-Rex. At this point, the other Tyrannosaurus knew it was time to close the net, its massive jaws snapping shut on the fleeing herbivore.
Obviously, hunting together significantly increased the chances of success, turning a difficult solo endeavor into a highly efficient cooperative kill. However, the story was just beginning, for even the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex had its own complex life cycle beyond mere hunting. As the saying goes, with plenty to eat, they can soar like the wind. The next morning, sated and content, the couple began to enjoy the fruits of their successful hunt, engaging in leisurely activities. The small, secluded forest, with its dappled sunlight and cool shade, was clearly a good place to escape the heat, a perfect sanctuary for their newfound abundance. The two dinosaurs began to indulge every day, their lives a rhythm of hunting, eating, and resting. This blissful period continued until the female, a testament to the continuation of their species, laid a clutch of eggs, carefully burying them in a warm, protected spot. What was originally thought to be a beautiful love story, a tale of two formidable predators forming a lasting bond, turned out to be